All right, folks, so the sun was supposed to come out, but it did not. And here we are for the final part of Project Big Booty. So sad to see the big booty go, but it is what it is, I guess. And we're going to wrap up this video with the final comments that we have, our conclusions, which go against what the so-called conventional wisdom was. We've learned actually a fair bit out of this, and I think we've come up with a good load. And we'll just do a little bit of shooting with another 300 Blackout rifle. And we'll talk about also, too, what might be coming up in regards to 300 Blackout on the channel, too. And here, I'll show you guys our final products. Right here. Went ahead and loaded up a bunch of these, so, you know, we've got enough to shoot for a little bit. So, pretty happy with that. Used up a container of CFE black on this project. So pretty cool. So let's get to some comments here that y'all left. I loaded the 220 berries with H110 9 grains and getting 1107 feet per second. Very good cycling so far. So that's cool. For those of y'all that it's always good to have different powders that you can use for a particular bullet. So if you can make that H110 work, more power to you. I don't know if that's in the queue for me to try anytime soon because I've got some other things coming up. But I tried H110 before with mid-weight bullets. Didn't have a great deal of success. It was very erratic. So if you can make that work with your subs and with these bullets here, that's cool. That's good to know. Another guy piped in. I've been loading 300 Blackout for 6 years. And I like the A1680 powder the best. I have used CFE black and is okay. Shooter's World Blackout is very similar to 1680. I load a lot of Hornady bullets, etc. And loads all sorts of bullets all the way from 125s to 225 grains. So I've not used A1680. However, I just bought some recently, and I also bought Shooter's World Blackout. And I'm very curious to try this out. You're going to see the next project that's going to be coming up on the channel. And the thing is that is cool about Shooter's World Blackout is just the cost. Powder prices, in case you guys haven't noticed, are going up a fair bit. And some of these powders now, they're looking for 60 to 70 bucks a pound. And it's getting a little crazy out there. However, Shooter's World Blackout can still be found out there for $26 a pound. So if it works, and I'm very curious to see if it works, I bought some. If it works well for me, I plan on buying more while I can at that cheaper price. Okay, and that's another thing too. This information will go stale at some point. I can't find it behind me. But the berries bullets as well, they were on sale at a killer price on Cabela's, like $43 for 200. I mean, jump all over that. And a couple of people did. I posted it on my post or whatever on YouTube. And I'll be expanding into probably Twitter at some point, or X, I guess as you call it. And I'll be able to do more stuff like that in the future. Another person chimed in, thanks. I'm loving the series, so that's cool. Appreciate the feedback on that. You guys are liking this. Another guy subbed. I just got into reloading, looking at getting a bulk pack of these 220 grain. I have 190 grain sub X. And I'll tell you guys, probably I'm going to do a project with those 190 grain sub X. Maybe, probably not imminently, but I think what I'm going to do is watch for those bullets on sale and try to snag 200 to 300 of them, and then we can play around with them and do a series on them. But I gotta love the price on the berries for general purpose. You better believe it. You know, it's pretty decent price these days. Just got my suppressor in. You're gonna love it, especially 300 Blackout. I've shot 300 Blackout for years with suppressors elsewhere, and I've covered this in my channel update video that I just did. And we will have suppressors in the future. I did have some people that were like, who shoots 300 Blackout without a suppressor? Well, plenty of people do. Who shoots subsonic in a 16-inch barrel? Well, tons of people do. Do you guys know that the Second most common chambering for AR rifles is 300 Blackout. So I can guarantee there's tons of folks out there shooting without suppressors and shooting 16-inch barrels, which is actually, especially when you're shooting supersonics, you lose velocity with those shorter barrels. And Mr. Guns and Gear actually did a video where he posted all the data on that. So maybe someday when I get some shorter barrel 300 Blackout pistols, we can experiment with that and show you guys the data. But so yes, we will have suppressors going forward here at some point. But if we don't, hey, like I said, most people are shooting without suppressors. For load data, books need an update to have 4 different categories. You need an AR, cycling, subsonic, and supersonic load data. And for bolt action and lever, need subsonic and supersonic data. When it comes to subsonic and manual actions, can go a lot lighter on the powder without issues. Yeah, probably because you're not using that gas to cycle the action. So certainly, and that's why I always tell you guys with these reloading videos, you're just watching me do what I do. I'm not telling you how to do stuff. I'm not giving you a how-to. You're watching me and my experiences. So you have to take all the information out there and then collate it and come up with a solution for what you're going to do with your thing. And also, too, for 300 Blackout, I would like to get a bolt action rifle. I have to say that new CZ 300 Blackout bolt action that is slimmed down, lightweight, and all that, that looks quite appealing. So we may go down that road at some point. I would like a super quiet, you know, obviously with the suppressor, bolt action 300 Blackout. I think that'd be awesome. And then there was a comment, and a couple of comments about the 16-inch barrel and subsonic and stuff. So that's it for that. But anyways, appreciate the comments from y'all. And sometimes it's good to space these videos out, because then in the next video I can kind of go through some of the comments and explain some whys and wherefores, and we can talk about some stuff. But anyways, let's get to some shooting. And then what we'll do is we will go ahead and wrap up the video with the final conclusion on this round, again, kind of breaking some of the conventional wisdom, and we'll talk about what's coming up next for 300 Blackout. Okay, folks, so we're going to go ahead and test out another 300 Blackout rifle and see if it works. I did some videos, I believe, on this rifle back 3 years ago. It was sometime in the spring of 2021, I want to say, so you can probably go back and find those. But a pretty affordable kit build that I did with a Palmetto State kit and then an ATI lower, and overall seems to work pretty good. I think the first lower I put on it was an Anderson lower and it didn't work too good, so I switched to ATI and haven't had a lick of trouble. But we'll see if it likes digesting this load or not, or and how it's going to respond. So let's shoot it a fair bit and see how it goes. And then what we'll do is we'll wrap it up with our final thoughts. Looking pretty good, we'll take that. Well, folks, so it's kind of with much sadness, it is time to go ahead and wrap up Project Big Booty. It has been a lot of fun, and in the end, it has worked out very well. We just shot 40 rounds through this rifle right here, and not one hiccup whatsoever, which is what I want. I have shot tons of subsonic through different 300 Blackout rifles before, things that are factory ammunition, and have had all sorts of reliability issues and all that. This is the first time I've had a reliable subsonic load, so I'm very, very happy with it. And in the end, what did we learn? Well, first thing we learned is that Barry's is on to a good thing in terms of the overall length, and I think they picked that one out wisely. 2.15, I think, is the secret, and I think the big issue I see with a lot of folks that load subsonic is that for whatever reason, they're loading these really long overall lengths, and it just does not add up. A powder like CFE Black, if anything, it likes to be compressed for one thing, and if not that, then at least not have much in the way of open airspace in the cartridge. That's one thing I figured out with CFE Black way back whenever I was just loading 150 grain bullets with it. So that seems to be the case, at least in regards to CFE Black, and I think that overall length is up for the win. The thing that I've noticed with long overall length subsonic rounds in the past is also they have a difficult time feeding, and this is also a chronic issue, and I see this a lot too, and I don't know where some of this dumb stuff has come from, and I guess people just kind of learn over time. But I've even seen with like mid-weight bullets and stuff, people loading these long overall lengths that's totally unnecessary. You take like the 150 grain Hornady full metal jacket. I load those, I think, at like 2.06, and they shoot wonderfully. I see all these folks out there loading them to like 2.2 and, you know, stuff like that. I'm like, what are you doing? It doesn't make any sense. And these shorter overall lengths seem to work a lot better. The other thing too, with this particular rifle, and let's see if, do I have it? Yep. Is if you are going to shoot subsonic as well, the subsonic manufactured magazines that are, well, manufactured specifically for subsonic, that can help your situation as well. So myself, I prefer the Lancer magazines. These have been just tanks. The Magpul ones work fine. There's probably other manufacturers that make them too. But you know, I have a ton of Lancers and they just seem to work pretty good. Like I said, I've used the Magpuls and they seem to work well too. So, you know, whatever you want to use, up to you. But as I can't remember the exact deal, but basically they set these subsonic magazines up so that the round is better oriented to get stuffed into the chamber. So anyways, I think that is kind of the secret, is the shorter overall lengths than conventional wisdom says. And then the other thing too is the 220 grain Barry's bullets. I've seen some people complain about those in the past. In my opinion, we've gotten great performance out of them. They're affordable, they work. You know, some folks might be complaining about accuracy maybe at 100 yards or something, because the groups definitely open up a little bit. But you got to remember, guys, we're shooting subsonic. Are you really going to be shooting at targets with 300 blackout at 100 yards and beyond with a subsonic round? I mean, I guess if it comes down to where you absolutely have to, but I don't really kind of think that is the thing. You would probably just want to use a supersonic round if you were going to be in that situation. So subsonic to me is really for 50 yards and less. If you disagree, you know, post up the reason why, but I don't see much point in going beyond 100 with subsonic. And so to me, it's a very close range round for doing things close up. And then, yeah, so I would say accuracy at 50 yards from what we saw is great. And in the end, everything worked good. So I'm just very happy with how the project turned out. Where are we going to go next? Well, perhaps there will be a Project Big Booty 2 electric powderloo. Who knows? But certainly there will be some more projects coming up. Oh, one other thing is, I believe we touched on earlier in the video, but suppressors, yep. We'll look at that in the future. Oh, I did have one other comment I wanted to touch on. Someone mentioned about CFE Black, whether it's temperature sensitive or not. The information I have is that it is not temperature sensitive. I think most modern formulations of powder these days they try to make to where they are not extremely temperature sensitive. So that's my info. And always remember, guys, it's like you're getting to watch me go through my motions and learn what I learn. Your situation might be totally different in terms of altitude, weather. You know, I don't have 115 degree days around here. You know, your situation might be totally different than mine. So, you know, do your own thing, make your own loads, and do your own workup. So, you know, that's my advice to y'all. But anyways, yep, we can come back and revisit it and test it in the summer real quick and just do a quick video and see if there's any difference and if the round stays subsonic. No problem at all. But yeah, folks, we got a ton of stuff coming up here in the future. Stay tuned. We're going to be having a lot of fun on the channel this year. I'm going to try to do a lot of cool projects, just as many cool videos as I can do. So stay tuned. Thanks for y'all's support. Leave a comment down below or hit the like button. Support those Amazon links, and we'll see you next time.